moms on how to use self care and travel to support them mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally. Today, I am talking about 5 must-have herbs, teas, and spices to help you sleep. Not spices, but let's just say roots. Herbs, flowers, and roots to help you sleep. I started really researching this stuff when my husband started his cancer journey because I wanted to figure out different things that would help him have a sound sleep, going through all of the treatment, but that would also help me to have a sound sleep just because my mind was constantly not growing, going. If you have any questions about any of the herbs or the flowers or the roots that I'm going to discuss, I'm only going to discuss 5 today, then I want you to leave a comment so that I can address it later because I'm looking down at my notes here because I don't know everything off the top of my head and I don't want to forget what I want to say to you today. So let me just start off with this. One of the cheapest and easiest ways for you to manage your mental and physical self-care is for you to get a good night's rest. Understanding that good sleep can be tough for many of us because our brains are just constantly going. They're constantly moving because it's like we're connected to the matrix all day long. How are you, Chandra? And, our digital lifestyles make it really hard for us to shut things down, even when we turn off our phones and we turn off our monitors and we turn off our TVs and we turn off our lights. So what a lot of people recommend, and I actually think that this works, is that, you give yourself at least an hour before you're going to go to bed to just check out of everything. Check out of everything, turn all those things off, and then pick up a book. Within 10 minutes, I'm like tired. I'm going to sleep. But you could either pick up a book to help you go to sleep and get you just get you grounded, or you can take any one of these herbs or these flowers or these roots to help ground you a little bit. And I really feel like herbs do the trick. And I've discovered from just trying different things that work for me, what is making me just relax and take the edge off from the day. And I'm only going to mention 5 today, but there are probably a dozen or more different herbs or flowers or spices or roots that you can take in your diet, put in your diet, or take as a tea or as a tincture or as an extract to help you calm down a little bit. Okay. And what I want to say is that you can purchase many of these in either their whole fresh form, or you can buy them dried or powdered, right? I feel like the easiest and most effective way to consume them is in a tea, and then you can flavor it however way you want to flavor it. If you're settling down with a book, then it would make sense to drink a tea made of any one of these herbs or flowers or spices or roots to help you become more relaxed. Okay. So the first one that I'm going to mention is actually lavender. And lavender, people do, drink lavender tea, like use the lavender flowers and make a tea out of it. But I actually prefer to use lavender in like a warm lavender soak. So I will use it in Epsom salts. So lavender Epsom salts or any sort of lavender essential oils to make myself a beautiful all natural lavender bath. And when my youngest son was going through his cancer treatments and he had, autism at the same time, I would always use lavender essential oils to just calm him down. Do that at nighttime. Put that inside his bathtub. Maybe even use some of it in a diffuser to get that lavender into his system. And that often would work to help calm him down. Now, you can make lavender tea. I've never personally drank lavender tea, so I don't really know what it tastes like, but I'm sure it tastes really floral and delicious. Okay, so right, lavender honey, that's a really good point. Chandra makes this point that a local beekeeper sells lavender honey, and I think you're right. I think that might have been the way that I had lavender in a tea, was through the honey. So what people will typically do if they're trying to infuse honey is take these, you want to make sure that these are organic lavender flowers or dried lavender that hasn't been sprayed with anything, and you infuse it in your tea, in your honey. So what they probably do, and I've learned this from, reading about infusions with flowers and herbs, is they would probably take about, I don't know if it's going to be like a half a cup, or if they fill it up, the 8-ounce mason jar, maybe they'll do half of it. But what they'll do is they will cover it with honey. And I'm sorry that I don't have exact amounts for you, but they will cover it with the honey and let that honey store and pretty much infuse over a period of time. It could be 2 weeks, it could be 4 weeks. It's probably around the 4-week time. And you have to make sure that the actual plant is completely covered with the honey so that it doesn't, go bad, or make sure that it's dry so that it's not, it doesn't go rancid. So when you're infusing honeys with flowers like that, there are some technicalities. I would say research it so that you're not wasting your money on the honey or the lavender in case you mess up. So definitely research it so that you know exactly what to do, dried versus fresh flowers, because there is a little bit of a technicality with that. So one of the other herbs that I know about is rhodiola. And rhodiola is something I bought it dried, and I actually use it in a tea. I make a nice tea at night and I sweeten it with honey. And rhodiola is actually really good. I'm trying to pull something up here on my computer. Rhodiola is actually really good as well for getting rid of tummy fat. So there is an extra added benefit of rhodiola. So rhodiola rosea, and it's a perennial flowering plant in the family Crassulaceae. I'm saying that wrong. Okay, but it grows naturally in wild Arctic regions of Europe, Asia, and North America, and can be propagated as a ground cover. So that's from Wikipedia, but it's spelled Rhodiola. I have my jars upstairs. I should have brought down my jars of these things to show you what they look like. I'm going to have to take some pictures and post those pictures along with this video. So rhodiola. The other one that I want to tell you about is turmeric. Some people say turmeric, some people say turmeric. And turmeric is really like a root. It looks a lot like ginger. It's in that family. So you can get organic turmeric from Whole Foods. I usually buy some once every couple of weeks, or you can use turmeric powder. And when you use the powder, typically in Indian cultures, they will take the turmeric, and whether they're using the powder or they're using usually the powder, and the dry turmeric, they'll put it with milk, and they call that golden milk. So it is turmeric milk, like golden milk, and then you can sweeten it with some honey or whatever sweetener you're going to use. See, Chandra, you know all of these things. Chandra says that I have turmeric honey, great for inflammation. That's what I was going to say. So turmeric is good, like the golden milk is good to help with inflammation, as well as if you're drinking it at night, it will help to relax you and go to sleep. I have done this. The key is that you need to make sure that you are using black pepper with it. It is the combination of the black pepper that activates the capsicum. I think what is the chemical that's in the turmeric? The black pepper along with the turmeric is what helps to activate this chemical in there that helps with our inflammation. So Chandra says the local beekeeper has a lot of medicinal honeys. I like this beekeeper. I'm going to have to move to Florida. Is that where you are? To get me some of that stuff. So if I use the fresh turmeric, then I need to peel that turmeric. I'll typically use a fork and then grate it. And then I will boil it with maybe ginger and some pepper. I use fresh cracked black pepper. And I pretty much boil that for about 8 to 10 minutes. And then after that's done, I'll take it off, let it cool down a little bit. And typically I don't put sugar in that. That to me is more like a tea, but more like almost like a soup. So I approach it like that. It is a little spicy, but it is helping with the inflammation. I personally think that when you do it like the golden milk, the turmeric milk, with the black pepper, that is what helps you to sleep, to calm down and sleep a little bit. The fourth one I want to mention to you is valerian root. Now, valerian root, I'm just learning about valerian root. I don't have any on hand myself, but I do every time hi Damon, every time I am researching herbs, valerian root constantly comes up. And this one is native to Europe and parts of Asia, but it's also grown in North America. And people make medicine from this root. So it is most commonly used for sleep disorders, especially the inability to sleep. And most of these herbs or roots or whatever that I'm mentioning, you can find in a health food store. If you have a Whole Foods next to you, that's kind of like the bigger brand, the more popular one that has all of these things that I'm talking about. So you can go to the fresh produce section and get you some fresh turmeric root, or you can go to the spice section and get you turmeric powder, turmeric, I don't know. Tomato powder but organic to use in your teas and your any of your drinks, or if you decide to make an extract of it or a tincture of any of these things. And the last one that I want to mention to you, number 5, is the chamomile. Chamomile is probably one of my favorites and the one that I think most people are familiar with in terms of using it for helping you to calm down and helping you to sleep. And chamomile tea, people make chamomile tea like straight from the flowers. A lot of times you'll see the chamomile tea already packaged in the tea bags. I actually have a blend of the tea that I drink. It is a chamomile blend, and that chamomile blend has skullcap in it, which is another herb that can help you with just relaxation. It also has mugwort in it. It has not valerian, but it has a little bit of green tea in it. So there are a couple of different herbs in this particular tea blend that are doing a number of different things. But I would say the biggest thing that I get from that tea blend is that it makes me tired within, I would say, like 10 minutes. It really doesn't take me very long. So this tea is, it's organic peppermint leaf, chamomile flowers, skullcap, mugwort, damiana leaf, that was the one I was trying to think of, rosemary leaf, and rose petals. So all organic. And if you can get any of these single elements, then you can make your own tea blends. And so that's what I have been pretty much practicing and working with. And the one that I've liked so far the most is the one that I just mentioned to you, the Dream Tea combination, and I get it from a company, Mountain Rose Herbs. That is the one that has the chamomile, and I can see the little chamomile flowers in it. But I also mixed it in with the rhodiola because the rhodiola helps to relax you as well. And I figured since it helps with belly fat, why not? It can help me go to sleep and work on the belly fat at the same time. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Still got to exercise though. So there is that. So if you guys have any questions or you have any comments to let me know about other herbs or spices or roots that you use, or flowers that you use and know about, that are natural or that you can get organically, that help to relieve stress, help people to go to sleep, please leave a comment below and let me know so that I can add it to the list and add it to the list for everyone else to find out more about these things that don't cost a lot. They're good for us and they have wonderful medicinal benefits, whether you are going through a critical illness or not. So whatever time it is that you're watching this, hopefully you have one of these on hand and you can enjoy it. I know what I'm going to enjoy tonight. It's going to be chamomile tea. But you can also just go to the supermarket and get you some to help you with your sleep. All right, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for engaging with me, and I will see you next time here on the channel. Have a good one.